So I'm sure from reading the title of this video, you know that I'm going to be reviewing Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine, which features Vincent Price at his Vincent Priciest. The movie kicks off with some Rankin and Bass style claymation and one of the swinginest intro songs to get out of the 60s. After some erratic driving, we find ourselves in good old San Fran 2 days from now. But I'm calling bullshit, but you know, whatever, because it's in this San Francisco of the future past that we meet Diana, a Wonder Woman of sorts who fights crime using super strength and endurance. I'm just kidding, she's a robot, but more on that in a minute. Diane tries to seduce Frankie Avalon because she thinks that his name is Todd Armstrong. But Frankie's like, no, I'm an intelligence agent. And she's like, I'm only wearing a bikini under this trench coat. And Frankie's like, check please. They get back to Frankie's place for a little roll in the hay. Then it's discovered that she's a robot and she's being controlled by Vincent Price as the title character, Dr. Goldfoot. Goldfoot nixes Frankie's good fortune, and Robot Diana rocks Frankie like a hurricane. The Doctor then sends his Robo-Girl after the real Todd Armstrong. It's through the Voyeur Vision 9000 and a series of monologues that we learn that Dr. Goldfoot has an army of bikini-sporting, go-go dancing robo-bimbos that he is using to grift millionaires out of their assets. And I guess it's working because all that lab equipment looks like it really cost a buttload. We get a moment with Agent Frankie trying to convince Director Uncle Donald that something's afoot in his best Clouseau impression that Mr. Avalon can muster. And then we cut to a musical interlude in which Diana is getting Dobie Gillis really drunk and convinces him to marry him right now. And Dr. Goldfoot's like, mwah, oh, oh, oh. Dobie doesn't get any on his wedding night, and his new honey makes him sign over all of his fortune in exchange for some nookie, but cuts out right after she gets hers. You fool! Frankie bumps into Diane on the street, and shenanigans. He falls into the graveyard, and shenanigans. Mortuary shenanigans, laboratory shenanigans, there's a lot of shenanigans. And let me just say, even in goofy movies like this, Vincent Price is the most evil man in the world. Frankie tries one more time to talk to his uncle, but guess what?
Shenanigans?
Yes, Farva, correct. So Agent Avalon goes to Mr. Gillis himself, and explains the situation while boozing it up and showing off Diana's lost hand. They get about 2 drinks past knackered when Diane shows up for the last of the paperwork. She works her moves, and she gets her thing, and she's off like a dirty shirt. The boys wake up the next day a little hungover and decide to go give Uncle Donald a stroke before going off to thwart the Doctor and his swimsuit-clad ladies. They go inside and...
Shenanigans?
Yes, Farva, now that you mention it, there is quite a bit of shenanigans. Goldfoot shows off his impressive stuffs and waves his big villainous tallywhacker about. And Frankie and Dobie escape because of Hickman and, well, plot. Then begins a wacky race akin to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World through the streets of San Francisco. Our stars, on the other hand, use rear projection to achieve this goal, but you know what? This shot of Vincent Price maniacally driving a trolley through the streets of San Francisco makes it okay. Plus, how many movies have a boat trolley chase? I rest my case. Alright, to wrap the movie up, Goldfoot and Igor go kaboomski, Dobie and Agent Frankie fly off to France on a vacation because they're besties now, and Goldfoot and Igor fly on the plane. Yeah, big damn question mark. Now, this movie was made by American International in 1965, fresh off Roger Corman's Poe adaptations. They had a real cash machine with Vincent Price and decided to cross over their beach party regulars with their spooky flick regulars with a pinch of Pink Panther for flavor. AI threw a cool million at this movie, and the turn was decent enough anyways for them to produce a sequel, Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs. Plus, it features the theme song by the Supremes that's so catchy it'll drive you mad. They did have to pad out the runtime a little bit by using footage from old Poe adaptations starring Vincent Price, but you know what? Who cares? Still awesome. For its silly premise and dated references, this movie still draws a chuckle. Vincent Price owns it as always. Avalon and Hickman make for a decent team-up, and a backup cast of bikini-wearing honeys didn't hurt this movie's chances at all. Watch it if you can, because if you see one movie this year about Vincent Price trying to rule the world with scantily dressed ladybots, make it this one.
Sexy thing, you